Welcome, welcome. Just going to give a couple of minutes for everyone to enter. Oops. Oh, Mirta. Hello, Mirta. TT, Tarek. Hello, my friend.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Ik kan alleen andere mensen zien. Hè?
So, I'm muting everybody just for a minute, but then I can. Let's see. Santa, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Okay. Let's see. Hi. So, just wait for everybody to fully arrive. Edie, hi. Hello, hello. All the lovely faces of the beautiful beings. Let's see. Gonna unmute everybody. If anyone would like to say hello or just like a welcome or state how they're doing this morning or this afternoon.
No.
No.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Are we now on mute? Or are we not on mute?
Well, I just unmuted everyone. Just
you can do. Okay. And I'm quite happy and thankful, and the sun is so nice shining, and I'm very curious. I'm just learning a bit how to Zoom, and so yeah.
Yes, we
excited.
all are.
Yeah.
Good. Me too. All right. I'm going to mute everybody. So what I can do, I'll just give you an overview. Oh, there's Timon. All right, people are still joining. So when you're on mute, it's so when we're meditating or if I'm speaking, if there's background noise or shuffling, it doesn't interfere with everybody else's experience. But if you intentionally want to unmute yourself, you can press your space bar and then speak, and you'll see the little red slash through your microphone go green, and you'll be able to talk. And let's see. Yeah, there's ways to adjust your Zoom screen so you can see whoever's speaking in full screen, or you can get a layout of everybody. So, and I'm recording this video and audio mostly for just the meditation or whatever I might be saying that I hope to post and share with other people who didn't make it. But if you're, generally I wouldn't keep the recorded part of the back and forth, but when we do have participation, if that's okay, if you have a problem with that, let me know, send me a message, and then I'll be sure not to include it. But part of this is a mutuality of sharing and a conversation back and forth. So I realized last time I didn't introduce myself. I think everyone knows me, but I will say I'm Truth, T.W. Hawk. I wrote this book, How to Succeed on Purpose. I write truth serums like this one, and lead and guide meditation and teach workshops and seminars and give talks on preparing for success and abundance and tuning into your heart. Cultivating the intuitive sense to guide you, and foundational to everything that I teach or speak about is really about just guiding others to their own inner wisdom. I don't have the answers. I have tools. I have an abundant toolkit that I've used for myself, for my own journey and guidance. But ultimately, you have the answers within you. So I don't pretend to know what the right thing is for you, for your path. Each individual has their own pathway, and you really know what it is inside. And so I like to just direct you to your own inner wisdom. Hence, circle of truth. Of course, I'm truth, but having a circle, there's like the Knights of the Round Table, there's no one at the head. It's when each of us is speaking or offering or sharing or participating, we're all offering our own wisdom, which I've just found abundant and really valuable, not just for myself, but for everybody else in the group. And when the sharing happens, what I find is certain themes bubble up and emerge, things that are topical for all of us collectively and perhaps individually. And so that's the idea of the circle, and that it's unbroken, like a heart. So, everyone has meditated before? Yes, Edie, yes, also, okay. So, yeah, my view on meditation, and I know Tarek, you had said before when you were at the abundance talk that you hadn't meditated successfully, so hopefully that changed. But my view on meditation is also, it's just an invitation to connect with yourself and to connect with that calm, quiet, still, peaceful, abundant, light-filled place within yourself that's connected with all consciousness, all that is, with Source, with God, with Spirit, with the Divine, whatever your term for it is. And so taking this moment together to share in that reaching for that inner place within ourselves, not outside of ourselves. That's the value of doing it together and taking this time, blocking it out of our schedules to actually practice. And it's always a practice. We're always practicing, and even masters of meditation are nothing more than masters of practice. So that's why they call them master practitioners. So, yeah, and our practice, I'll guide just whatever is kind of coming through me at the moment, but you're welcome to block me out or to use it as a leaping off point, any of the guidance for your own journey. If any of the visualizations trigger something within you, feel free to follow those pathways within yourself. So there's lots of latitude. This is really just a way to facilitate that turning within and to connect with the divine that's in all of us. So I'd like to start with our meditation, and then I'd like to share some offerings, some writings, and open it up to more conversation, I think, after we've all united in meditation. Does that sound good for everyone? Yes? Okay, nods. Hi. Great. Okay. So, yeah, just interestingly, the way I woke up from a dream and I had a very clear kind of lesson plan for today, things I wanted to share. And then I was sitting in meditation for a few minutes and I pulled a card and it gave me a whole nother pathway to share. So even if we have something in mind, there's always something else that may perhaps be the better alternative or pathway if we're open to it. So I'm flexible and open to go in any of the directions that I woke up willing to share today. So that's why I'd like to have some reflection after we meditate. But yeah, let's meditate today. The theme, I believe, will be gratitude and abundance. Gratitude and abundance in the face of all we're experiencing now. So, so let's start there. Let's close our eyes and just sit comfortably once your eyes are closed, and you can really, just even that, you start to inhabit your space a bit differently. Yeah, your awareness of your body. And just roll your shoulders a little, and maybe twist your spine. Roll your head on top of your neck, and just sit where you can really feel erect and like a pole. In Tai Chi, they call it the Tai Chi pole. So everything turns around this center axis. And this is, if you think of your chakras from root to crown, like a collimated beam of light, as straight as you can get it, so that the energy is flowing both from the root of the earth and from the heavens downward into the vessel that is the human body, as unperturbed and unblocked as possible. So we want to create a clear channel. Yeah, and I'm going to sound the singing bowl 3 times, and when I do so, just really tune into the vibration and the frequency, and allow that to be like the handle or the hand being extended to you, the invitation, if you will, into the meditation, into your own spirit, your own body, your own breath. Okay, here we go. The sounds of the singing bowl are so layered vibratory, waves of unfoldment. Layered like our breath, coming in and out of our lungs. Expanding with our diaphragm, contracting with each out-breath. We are anything but binary. In a world so driven by ones and zeros, off and on, black and white. The human experience is a plethora, a rainbow, an infinite spectrum, a perceptual feast. An experiential playground. Abundant in every way, shape, and form. We inhabit abundance. We live in abundance. We experience abundance. We're immersed in it. It's all around us, ever present. What are the layers of your perception right now? I can hear the birds singing outside my window. The sound of my own breath escaping my nostrils. Cars rolling forward on the street. The wind outside. So many layers of sound. How abundantly we can feel. Our perceptual touch, are your fingers contacting each other? What's the weight of your hands resting on your knees or your legs or in your lap? Is it heavy or light? What's the temperature on your skin? Is it cool soul. What's the feeling within you? Are you peaceful, calm, nervous, relaxed? Is there tension? Excitement? Stiffness? Can you bring your awareness to any of these feelings and pinpoint it? And can you change it just by shifting your consciousness, shifting your intent? Find an area in your body that's cold and direct warmth there. Feel a place that's tense. And bring ease there. Find a spot that's dark and bring light there. Perceive anywhere that's contracted and expand your breath there. It's miraculous, really. These multi-layers of perception, this feast of experience, all happening at once, simultaneous. Instantaneous, pervasive, and our method for tuning in to this perceptual abundance is to turn our awareness, our attention, to that which we desire to experience. It can be something minute, like an ant crawling along a windowsill, connecting with its tiny world, how infinite our world must seem to it. Or bringing your awareness to the lines of your hand, all of the folds and grooves and wrinkles that are uniquely yours. All the shapes, the circles, the contours that make up your unique fingerprint. There's a whole universe there. And the abundant layers of feeling and sensing in our own bodies throughout the day. All the things we see, we read, we watch, everything we can detect in our lover's face, in their eyes, the shapes that they inhabit. The way their nose crinkles, or their smile widens, the sound of their laughter. So many different types of laughter. And we know from a room away what they're feeling, what they're laughing at, what's on their mind, what's bothering them, what's thrilling them, what's confusing them. All the smells that penetrate our awareness throughout the day. The smell of the morning when we wake in our beds. Our sheets or our pillow. The flowers in our room. The scent of morning. As the sun awakens the garden. Coffee brewing. Incense wafting its way toward us. Can you detect the time of day based on the scents around you? Doesn't night smell differently than mid-afternoon? What about all of the tastes that we get to experience throughout the day? The abundance of flavor, whatever we're waking up with on our tongues from the night before, or a heavy rest. The feeling of our toothbrush on our teeth, and the flavor of the toothpaste, mint or cinnamon, strawberry. The flavor of the water from our bathroom sink, different from the kitchen sink, different from our coffee or tea. Or our favorite fresh squeezed juice. Or a wet kiss from our pet or our partner or our child. How can we awaken the flavors of our day, all of the different pleasures that we put in our mouths, the different textures of our food, the toast, fresh out of the toaster, with its nooks and crannies, or the explosion of citrus from a tangerine, or the smoothness and richness of a ripe avocado. Simple pleasures, but also exquisite in their variety. What about our sixth sense? Beyond our five senses. This pervasive, unspoken intuition, feeling the collective lightness of the day, of the people in the apartments around us, in the city around us, in the country we live in the world we inhabit, or the heaviness that we feel. The insecurity, or the confusion, the concern, the weight. We feel it on our shoulders, leaning on us, carrying it around, even though it's not ours individually. can also bring that breath and light and levity and joy and ease and peace. We can tune into that optimism so many of us feel, and that joy and gratitude for this transformation that's upon us. This sixth sense, this collective evolution that we're all going through together. Have you been feeling that? Attuning to that? How does that feel in your body or around your field of awareness? Can you distinguish that collective emotion from that of your own sense state? How can we sharpen our lens, crystallize our focus both on ourselves and outside of ourselves, so we can better recognize that which is our own and that which is the energy of others that is not our own and yet is shared. So that we can bring shift and transformation to that collective yearning. How abundantly we experience just in these few minutes of turning our attention to our senses, our perception, our vision. It's infinite, really. The multitude of layers. And for that, we can be grateful. And feel gratitude. And give praise, thanks for all that we experience. For none of it is bad, and none of it is good. But through gratitude, we can make it all great as we receive it with grace, gratefulness, receptivity, perspicacity, which means discernment. And we have the miraculous tool of our perception, our consciousness, that we can direct at any moment and choose what to experience. So as we move forward through the day and into our week, let's recall the tool of our perception, like a camera. We can turn our lens and then bring into focus that which we wish to experience. We can shift our gaze, our feeling, our touch, our taste, our sense of smell, our intuitive sense. We can shift it to that which we wish to draw into our being. For that is the gift of abundance. It's our choice. We choose what to put on the plate. On the plate of our consciousness. So as we partake of each morsel of experience, our bodies will tell us if it nurtures us, if we can digest it, if it satiates our appetites and enhances our well-being. So fill your plate with divine morsels. And say grace over the contents. Give thanks. Because there's always another serving where that came from. The universe is infinitely abundant. So just follow the sound of the bowl back to your breath. Think of it as a portal, or an invitation, or a doorway, or a magic carpet, ushering you back into your room, your body, your awareness in the here and now. Can open our eyes, come back, rejoin the group. Hello again, everyone. I'm going to unmute everyone, so if you'd like to share, we can all take a minute. Don't feel rushed, but yeah, if there's anything anyone would like to offer as a taste of their experience.
First, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a good one.
Was it? I'm so glad. Thank you.
My body's so tight, y'all. I got distracted by my own body.
Say that again, Tarek?
Distracted by my own body.
Are you saying it in Dutch?
No, I'm not. I said I can't hold it.
Sounded like Dutch.
Again. Say it again. I said I can't hold that pose for so long.
Ah, yes.
Like my body was distracting me, because I need to switch positions.
So that's one of the things, just each of us, you have permission, you can lay down, you can sit up straight, whatever is comfortable. Having a meditation pillow or something under your sit bone so that you're actually elevating your hips is a more comfortable posture to be in. And it allows you to sit up, but legs being crossed, sometimes that can get tiring as well. So if you need to shift or move or lay down during, absolutely feel free to do so. It's about being comfortable in your body. That's really the key. Timon, you have anything?
Mm-hmm.
Not per se.
Okay. Not to put you on the spot. I can mute everyone. I'm going to mute everyone again. And then if you want to share, just press your space bar.
I'd like to share a little bit. So there are a few things that came up for me. In the beginning, I think when you mentioned we should direct our attention to the places that are tight or dark, I was feeling some tightness and heaviness in my chest since yesterday. So I tried to direct, my own energy into this area. So that felt a lot lighter towards the end of the meditation. So that was really nice. And also the other thing that I realized when you're describing our senses and how abundant each of them is and all those layers of complexity, I just realized that I think of abundance very often as something external, as something that we achieve or experience externally. And I never really think of my own body and my senses as being abundance. Like we are indeed able to experience so much, on so many levels. So I think for me, I don't appreciate that enough. So thank you for reminding us about that. Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's a perceptual smorgasbord And really that's the whole universe is just what we perceive and what we choose to perceive. So on a quantum level, if you've heard or read about quantum mechanics at all, everything is just a wave of potentiality. Nothing actually exists until we focus our attention on it. And then in the very act of putting our awareness, our attention, like creating the frame, that wave manifests as a particle of being, of reality, and how we experience reality. And so those are the fundamental building blocks. We're all in a quantum soup. That's the nature of the universe. So and that's at a much deeper subatomic, subatomic level, like the Higgs boson level. And yet, so we're on a macro level, but those are the building blocks. So fundamentally, the nature of our experience isn't any different than what the building blocks are that make it up. So this is a powerful tool for manifestation, but also just experiential being. And so, we come in to this human experience and we live a life, but it's just an experiential journey in this body. And we leave, and we even leave the body behind. So, it's just a segment we're here for. This is our own little television series with different episodes. And our life is just a feast of experience. And we can look at anything and say, that's terrible, and judge it, or we can take everything in and accept it for what it is, and this is just the way things are, and give gratitude for the experience of it, and honor the experience, and know that it shall pass, it will evolve and become something new and different. And without the judgment of this is good, this is bad, this is better, this is best, this is not so good. And it's just things are what they are. It is what it is. It will be what it will be. Then we just flow with life. And that's an abundant experience, because it's always flowing and creating. And abundance is actually a flow. It's not just a fixed state. The universe is abundant. The ocean is abundant. But the tides come in and they go out. Waves crash and then recede, right? Everything flows. Rivers flow, they swell, and then they trickle. So all of life is a flow. It's this rhythm. And life is abundant. So when we're not holding on to the peak or morose and distraught and in despair at the nadir, at the dip in the wave, we're just flowing with life. And that is an abundant way of being. Like that. So, something I wrote last time, I don't know if they're here today, but they mentioned prayer, which is interesting because, I was listening to another spiritual teacher, Michael Beckwith, and he was talking about prayer. And so, often we turn to prayer, or you could say, prayer, meditation, whatever the word is for you, like intent, some kind of spoken desire, dream. And we turn to prayer when we need guidance or we want something to happen. We desire an outcome. But the thing about prayer is it's really a prayer for ourselves, because we're always receiving guidance. We're always getting direction. we're always receiving support. It's always flowing to us. So the idea of prayer is, what we're praying for is, show me an answer, guide me, please deliver this. It's actually always coming to us. The prayer is just for our own ability to recognize it and to hear it and to acknowledge it. So when we pray or wish, hope, desire, meditate, it's really that. It's to say, I'm praying to hear the guidance, because it's always coming to you. It's not like the spigot turns off and, oh, you pray, oh, and we'll turn it back on, and abundance and good things will be flowing to you. It's always on. It's just like putting your hand under the faucet to catch the water. You just got to cup your hands in prayer, right? So prayer is the pathway to abundance. So it's just that attunement, that listening in, that praying for the guidance so we can hear it, feel it, be directed however we receive it. Gratitude is the gateway. So when we experience gratitude, when we give praise, thanks, gratitude is the quickest pathway to abundance, or the gateway to abundance, because it makes what we have enough. If you walk around grateful for everyone you encounter in each conversation, each experience, everything you put in your mouth, take a shower, oh, thank you for the warm water. I mean, then your whole life is filled with gratitude. And guess what? Gratitude, it's actually thanksgiving. You are actually giving it away. Giving gratitude. And the wonderful thing about giving something away is, first you have to gather it and collect it to give it away, right? You can't give something you don't have. So in the act of going through our day and our perceptual awareness and gathering all of the things that we're grateful for and then giving gratitude, what it does is it creates this energetic vortex that calls in more for which to be grateful for. That's the paradox of gratitude. The more we give, the more we receive for which to be grateful for. Prayer is the pathway, gratitude is the gateway. And then, I was writing this morning, so acceptance, like receptivity, receiving, is underway. And that creates a sense of unity, which is a holiday. So, and holiday is actually holy day. So the holy way of being, graceful way of being, is this sense of unity consciousness, that we're all one, that we're connected to everything that is, that as we perceive, we receive. And so just turning our attention to what's there abundantly to experience, or that which we wish to experience, and just refocusing our attention. So if what you're receiving and getting is not agreeing with you, or is making you feel despair or distraught or insecure or uncomfortable, or you recognize that feeling within you in myriad ways. And so it's like, okay, let me be aware, let me acknowledge this, and now let me shift my attention to something that I desire to experience. Because in any moment, you can just shift your awareness outside, like, wow, look at the blue sky. It's so clear. There's not a cloud in the sky in the Netherlands. Look at the sun shining. Look at the buds blooming on the tree. Or I can hear the bird chirping. It's like all this life is happening around us, and we can be focused on, oh my God, these posts on Facebook are making me miserable. But if you just shift your awareness, or the palm of your hand, I mean, just spend 5 minutes looking at the palm of your hand and how infinitely expressive it is. It's really miraculous. And so you're just shifting consciously your attention to something else. And that is meditation. And that's how all of life becomes a meditation, an abundant meditation. So, prayer is the pathway. Gratitude is the gateway. Unity is the holiday. That's at the end of the experiential rainbow. I'm throwing a lot of metaphors out there. I'm sure they all mix somehow, but I hope you're getting my vibe. Does this land for everyone? Anyone? Yeah? Is it feeling good? Are we feeling abundant? TT, you want to say something?
Yes.
No, it does.
Yes.
It does. It does. But also to go through life being aware and actively being grateful. You know? I think there's a difference between actively being grateful and passively being grateful. Where that being actively grateful, you really get to be aware of the abundance around you. You should be on track.
Where do you feel in your body when you feel that sense of gratitude? Like you're so filled with, like I'm so grateful looking at you. I'm so grateful for your friendship, and I think about how we met when I was traveling here, and then 2 years later, my book is in your shop. I mean, it's like miraculous. So I'm like filled with gratitude. I can feel it like it's like a spring welling up from my core, like into my heart, and just wants to spill out. How do any of you experience gratitude?
Well, true gratitude literally does make me cry. So it literally makes me a thumbs out, like a well.
Yeah.
It flows over.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, it just wants, it's like you fill with that, and then it just wants to pour out. I feel that too. Makes me teary. Anybody else a crybaby too?
For me, it's also
Oops, sorry, hun. Start again. Go ahead. Oop.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now I can.
So I also have this feeling in the heart, but it also makes me feel softer and feels like I'm surrendering to life. That kind of feeling.
What does surrender feel like when you
Like
say?
there's no more resistance inside. I just accept everything. I embrace everything as it is. I'm not trying to change, not wanting to change.
Yes. Yeah, I was reading that's like enlightenment. That's what enlightenment is. And we've all felt that state at some point. But it's just acceptance with what is, meeting what is without resistance and without, oh, I wish it were something different, or I wish it were something, this person were different, or this experience were different, or better, or somewhere else, or it had a different color. It's then we're in our mind where it's like we're not in sync with what is. So yeah, be in an enlightened state of being where you just receive what is. And if you can turn your powers of perception to really like looking into every detail of the experience as it's happening, rather than in the mind, and when we're in judgment, right, of something happening, we're not fully experiencing it because we're going, oh, this isn't as good as last time, or I don't like what this person is saying. I don't agree with, the way it's being presented, rather than like just receiving. And you can focus on, this crystal, or someone's eyes, or the sound, the timbre of their voice, how you're feeling in your own awareness. Like, how am I feeling in my body right now? My breath, it's turning the lens, as I said, to these different, and surrendering, as Irina said, to the experience. Surrender is a good feeling because you don't have to do any work. You just flow. You float.
Yeah.
Mirta.
I feel like gratitude can also get you in this like euphoric state where everything has something beautiful about it. And I feel that's like a very close experience to being enlightened. For me, it's like a walk in the forest where like everything is suddenly even more beautiful than it already was. And I appreciate it more. And I felt like with this meditation, when you were talking about senses, I could like imagine myself being somewhere where I was like cooking food, but like the avocado, I could feel all the bumps in the avocado, and suddenly it was like, wow, that's so amazing that I could feel all the bumps separately, but also as a whole. And I don't know, that just got me in a really good state of like gratitude, and I feel like, yeah, that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, everyone loves an avocado. The avocado is the what do I want to say, the totem for enlightenment. Come back with a holy avocado. This is the sacred fruit. Anybody else have a sacred fruit experience?
It's a whole there?
Yes, go. Go ahead, Tarek.
Yeah, no, I just have a question for you guys. Because we talked about sitting in your emotions, sitting in your feelings, right? And being aware of them and really going through them. So how do you move from that state to action? Because, you can sit in a state and everything that's by and you can really feel it. But I have trouble moving from that state to action without ignoring those feelings.
Without ignoring, you mean that the sense of gratitude, or the sense, like these deeper senses?
Oh, no, because obviously there's gratitude, but also there's times when you feel things that are not so positive and you're trying to go through those emotions as well, right? Then how do you get through those emotions, move towards action, like when you really have to do something? What I do is turn that into something positive and try to feel the gratitude and try to feel the every positive and the negative. But I do tend to ignore those bad feelings and jump to the positive too quickly without processing the bad feelings. But then I'm on to an action where I need those positive feelings to execute. But I don't go back to that feeling of whatever sadness.
So do you find that the let's call them negative emotions, that they come back up after you put your positive direction in action, that because you haven't?
It depends on how much time I got, right? Because once I've experienced something sad and I need to move on and need to bring in more light, right? I try to run with that light and tackle it fast. But I don't go back to that sadness because, I'm trying to put that in a box.
So I think this is very common to want to not sit with the bad or the hurtful or the hard emotions, and we want to we have techniques for like, oh, let me transmute this and go to the good. And what's important is to feel it all and to allow the emotion to run its course. So when there are, I mean, no one wants to feel sad or uncomfortable or hurt or nervous but there's always, well, I say there's a gift in the grift, right? Or a bulletin in the bruise. And so if we disallow the full embodiment of that emotion and to take the time to just sit with it and really feel it, whether it's disappointment or despair or anxiety, because it will give us a action and a direction from that. And it may not be the first action we decide to take or we would take. So by sitting with it, it may give you a more informed action to take, and then you can step out and act having resolved that feeling, as opposed to, okay, this is not feeling good, let me turn it into a positive, and now I'm in action on the positive track. But that emotion's still like, well, wait a second, we still wanted to fully resolve our anxiety. We wanted to play that out and see where it went, so it could convey the wisdom. So without judging at all your experience of it, but only because you're offering, like, you feel like you're moving too quickly, is what you said.
Mm.
So being a little more patient, perhaps, with yourself, and give those emotions that might be a little more uncomfortable a chance to run their course. Because when we're feeling, I mean, the interesting thing about emotion is our ability to feel joy is actually counterbalanced by our capacity to feel despair and sadness and grief. And when we're in these emotions and you feel like, I'm so sad I could die, that actually, feeling that and fully inhabiting that, it's like a balloon that you can expand. And the more grief you can feel, fully feel it, that's actually your capacity to feel joy on the other side. If you disallow your grief, then you can only feel this much joy on the other end. As we expand our capacity for emotions, it grows our total capacity to feel the corresponding emotion. Because our joy is our sadness in another reflection, right? Our anxiety is our confidence in another reflection. And what you will find is, once you give an opportunity to feel kind of that contrary emotion, you can spend more time in the quote-unquote positive emotion, right? So your joy is so expansive that you're more or less in joy all the time. Yes, there are times you might feel corresponding sadness or what have you, but that tends to be, you can go deeper faster and for less time, and then come back to joy. Because that's just you're holding your vibration higher, and those are higher vibratory feelings. Does that resonate for you?
It does. It's like the pendulum, it swings, right? Swings into the bed, and just as much into the bed. When it's still, she's mute.
And you want that pendulum, if it's joy, you can't have it hit a wall and then swing back. Gotta, right? Something like that. Anyone else on gratitude or abundance? Edie? Right.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I just want to say I'm very abundant gratitude for joining this. So, and to hear all this beautiful word, and that people are sharing it. I think it's also a very beautiful day. And I really actually enjoyed the meditation. I did. It was also a challenge. Somehow I can't put my headphones in, and I do live in a boat, so people are still walking beside of me, and I'm like my husband and my child. So I was a bit like, oh, okay, but I will figure it out how my ear things will work. What I was when I was really in it, I somehow started to do my hands like this on my lap, and my hands became really, in a way, heavy, but in a nice way, and very hot, very warm. I don't know. That's what I really noticed, and I don't know. And then I was also like, oh, yeah, I want to go to my heart with this feeling also, and I don't know. It was something new for me. But I was in a moment. I was kind of really nice into it, and that happened. And I'm sharing this. And soon, I will soon. I don't know how soon, but I will leave. I will leave the group because talking about avocados get me really hungry. So I would love to get at lunch soon.
Yes. Well, we'll wrap up. We've gone
have
a little
to.
long.
But thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Well, thank you for sharing that. So, this is so the hands are the messengers of the heart.
Oh.
So the fact that you felt weight and energy and heat in your hands, it's connected with the heart. And then you said you wanted to bring that feeling into your heart. So your left is your receiving side and your right is your giving side, right? So it's like receiving and then giving. And that's the abundance, right? That receive abundance, give gratitude. And so your body, you automatically, your heart was activated, and then your hands were, they were representing what was being, what was being guided in the meditation.
Okay. Nice.
So, yeah, that's a beautiful, that's a powerful experience.
Thank you. Okay.
To have that.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we each have our own ways of experiencing meditation or meditative practices. It can be tingling, it can be warmth, it can be light. Again, all these perceptual layers. So just something for your own practice, and love to have you here consistently. But perhaps that's something you'll notice is how your body attunes to what's being said, or your own journey, and how your body is being activated by it. So can be very powerful.
Thanks. Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Anyone else wish to say anything, and then we can adjourn? Let me see, gallery. Micah, do you want to say anything? Not to put you on the spot, but I just did.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Because I really don't know how this is working. I don't know if do you see me also, or you don't see me?
No. Do you want, so your video is in the lower left corner. So there should be, are you on a computer?
No, I'm on my iPhone.
Oh, your phone.
Maybe, and I really don't, right? But I don't see anything, the videos.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. If you do it from your laptop or your computer, then you can get the full experience. I think you can download an app.
Okay, next time I will do the full experience then. But I'm very grateful for the meditation. Yeah, it was a good experience for me. I think this is the first time that I joined the group. So next time I will be there for sure, because I'm curious what you just described, but what it's going to do with your body. So it's I'm curious about this journey.
Great. Well, it's wonderful to have you. I'm so glad you could join. And yeah, our next circle will be on Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, 1 o'clock on Friday. And who knows what the theme will be? Because even if it's planned, it somehow becomes something else. But thank you, everyone, beautiful beings, for being here. It's so nice to share this with you. So I'll see you on Friday next time. And so let's see. It's obviously, this is an offering. It's free. However, if you want to contribute to the circular economy, Circle of Truth, you're welcome to do so. I sent a link that has it's like a Tiki, but for bunk. Anyway, so if you feel inclined today or at any point or never, that's okay. It's all just what comes from within, and there's no set amount or anything like that. I just really want to share this with everyone. Is the primary goal and aspiration. Yeah, so, and feel free to invite whomever you like. Send the invitation to friends, family, or post it wherever, and I will have a new link and I'll send to everyone. And if it's so everyone would like to be part of the WhatsApp group, we can do that too. That's the bell for lunch. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Mooi dag.